Hey, hobby hooligans, welcome to Ashtabula Hobby Talk. I am KE8PBL. My name is Nemo, and I am president of Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula, an amateur radio enthusiast.
Hey, I'm Rykus. I'm a comic book enthusiast, owner of Captain's Comics in North Kingsville, Ohio. And hey, we had some really cool time doing this episode.
Yeah, man, we had an away mission, and we sat down with Carl, and Carl is a great guy. He's a wealth of knowledge, and I'm really glad we got to spend time with him.
Yep, he has life experiences and life lessons. Let's take his word for it.
Yeah, yeah. I've spent a lot of time doing well, to me, it's the survival stuff, but he likes to call it bushcraft, but he has a lot of knowledge and a lot of skills behind him, and I can't wait to do more with him. But in the meantime, I guess we can just check out what we did with him just over the course of this past week. Okay, so we're here with Carl at Camp Bluebird, and we're here to talk about his hobby. And oh well, we'll let Rykus talk about what he's done in his past that makes him a really tough guy. I'm afraid of.
I met Carl a while back, and he's a great guy, fully knowledgeable in the hobby that we're about to talk about. But outside of the hobby, this guy wrestled a bear.
That's balls, man.
What was it like wrestling a bear?
Kind of like an overgrown dog. Uh, they do put a muzzle on him, but he just immediately takes that off. He bit me twice up here by my eye and on my shin. So I had some scars from that for stories to tell.
Now, the point of the wrestling, you had to pin him for like 3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Did you come close?
I had him on his back. The ref's like 1, and as soon as he said 2, the bear just threw me up into the air. I just seen the bear going down on, I was up in the air. So yeah, he's trained pretty good. Before the match, we got to go to the trailer to look at the bear, and the owner trainer was unwrapping about 200 McDonald's cheeseburgers and feeding it to him. And I'm like, well, why are you doing that? He goes, because you get pretty mean if you don't eat before a match. So
you don't want to wrestle a hangry bear.
All right, well, let's sit down and have a little chat.
All right.
You do like the survival, woodland camping, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'd say it's more. I don't want to put survival in the word. I'd like to focus more on. They call it bushcrafting.
Okay.
I got into that when I was a kid. I got into camping more or less when I was a kid. My father and grandfather's farm. And from there, I graduated high school and went into the military. I was an Army medic, and as you can guess, we did a lot of backpacking and camping in the military. I think the longest time I've been out in the field would probably be just a little over 90 days living out of a backpack. You learn a lot of stuff as far as backpacking and camping and hiking in the military, but just basic stuff like map and compass, first aid, that sort of thing. They didn't really focus a whole lot on the survival aspect. They did do survival training, which was kind of rushed, but I didn't really get into it as a hobby until long after the Boy Scout or military. I became a Boy Scout leader for a local troop, and I did some research on that and discovered that there's an organization that had over 110 years of backpacking and hiking and camping. So that's pretty well honed in as far as, perfection. And it could still get better each and every year. That something new is coming out as far as hiking and backpacking and camping. But I've progressed on from scouting into other organization. And so, yeah, I'd say my passion is hiking, backpacking, and camping.
Well, man, 90 days has got me beat. My best time out is 2 weeks. So, and that was pushing it. I was running a little low at that point. But I've been there doing stuff like that too, probably since I was
oh, 12, doing a bunch of that stuff, and not so much anymore because I'm older. But yeah, so the earth building, earth shelter building, and basic fire starting, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. The more you know, the less you carry, actually, they say. You know, if you're proficient in first aid, I've gone into the woodlands bogged down with 60 pounds of gear, and a few years later go out with flip-flops and a water bottle and a knife and a sparking tool and been more comfortable and enjoyed the whole experience a lot better. So if you're proficient on your skills, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can research and develop a good knowledge base before you go out into the woodlands and decide to do any kind of solo camping or backpacking or hiking. Um, you'll be more proficient at that. You'll be more comfortable instead of punishing yourself for a wasted weekend or something, you know.
Right, right. Well, they say practice before you go try it out. You know, do it in your backyard, then go do it in your neighbor's backyard, or your friend's backyard, who might have a little bit bigger space.
Mm-hmm.
Then actually start going out and doing it, or by yourself, solo, so that you familiarize yourself with the stuff you know and the gear you know. And
I would say back in maybe 2010, I started getting more interested in sharing that knowledge with youth. Because if you look at the age that we live in today, you have to almost unplug a kid to get them outside and get them back. You know, that would be my dream, to see children get more back interested into the outdoor environment. You know, you don't see that a whole lot anymore. Um, you know, the difference between a good camp out and a bad camp out is a kid that's not prepared for a camp out. You know, they just grab a bag and get out there, and they have no idea what the weather forecast is. They don't know what they're going to be eating. They don't know where their water's going to be coming from. So I've seen a lot of heartbroken kids on campouts, and I've seen a lot of cheerful kids on campouts, you know. So I would say that's probably one of my biggest passions, is teaching youth hard skills that they can use for camping and hiking and all that stuff. You never know when they're going to need it the most. So
yeah, even stuff as simple as just collecting water is kind of one of those things that you got to know how to do, and how to, if you're lost in the woods, you need to know how to get water.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't even know how to do that. They don't know to just take a piece of plastic and put it on the ground in a hole, or to funnel it for rain, or
simple things of knowing that plant life around you can help out tremendously.
Absolutely.
What plants are useful to first aid? Because there's a lot of plants out there that can help. Just nature provides a lot.
Just like I forgot what the name of the plant is, but it's a weed. We mostly look at it as weed, and it's got a little orange flower on top of it, and you'll almost always see it growing next to poison ivy, around poison ivy, and it is actually the antidote to poison ivy. So you accidentally crawl through the poison ivy. Now you're getting itchy. You got to go back to where that poison ivy was and find this plant with a yellow, orangish yellow flower on it, and you take that and you rub it all over you, and all of a sudden the poison ivy goes away.
Yeah, that's called the touch-me-not, or the jewelweed.
Yeah, jewelweed.
And that grows relatively close to poison ivy. We have a big patch on our property here. But you're right, it does remove the oils that come out of poison ivy.
They call it the touch-me-nots because if you touch it, it explodes.
Yeah, right? If you touch the pods, they'll release the seed. I've got a lot of Peterson field guides that teach the medicinal plants, and you could research all the edible plants. I remember we went on a trip, and we were just sitting at a picnic table, and I found 7 plants just by sitting there that were entirely medicinal plants, and they were just everyday common weeds to everybody else. So, like I said, the more you know, the less you need to carry.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, even just like this right here. right? Your common dandelion.
Mhm.
It's a perfectly edible plant, and you can pick it up and eat it. And chickweed, and I mean, just looking around here, there's a whole bunch of stuff.
That's the problem. Most people just go to their store to find food when a lot of that resource is right there.
Yeah.
You can have like a whole meal set aside just by foraging. And
Foraging takes a lot of practice, I've learned.
yeah, you can't just eat anything.
A lot of practice, a lot of research.
I would say definitely know what you're putting on your plate if you're going out foraging, because there's a lot of unhealthy and poisonous stuff out there that if you're not educated, you could be doing something dangerous.
So what all are the stuff that you guys teach to the kids there?
Yeah, so me and Ryan, we're involved in Trail Life USA, Troop OH3123 out of Conneaut, Ohio. And we do several building blocks for children, for boys. It's we're focused more on traditional male values and teaching outdoor adventure. So we usually try to start off with first aid first, and it's very comprehensive first aid lesson. I mean, they got to learn how to signs for stroke, broken bones, all that stuff. So we usually touch on that every year, even regardless of whether they've earned that badge or not. Fire building, woods tools, rope work, land navigational, map and compass reading. There are trail skills, which would touch on some survival stuff. And then as they get older, they get into a more in-depth program on more specific woodland stuff, or they'll get more specific into like community stuff or citizenship and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I found out about trail life through Carl. His wealth of knowledge encouraged me to use that to help my kids out, to help them, help them through life. I mean, I know Carl knows a lot about stuff, and just the fact that he's willing to teach the kids, and I took advantage of that. And I signed my kids up, and I was like, what else can I do? And so I've joined and became the navigator leader. And there's a lot of knowledge through the whole community of trail life. There's so many people there that have so much knowledge in different fields. I mean, we have a really well organized community.
And that's a great thing, because when I was growing up, there wasn't anything around that had that. There were a couple like summer camp things that you could do, but there really wasn't. I know that there were organizations, but they weren't accessible to people in my area the way they are or were by the time I was in my late teens and 20s. And so for me and some of my friends who were interested in that kind of stuff, our only option was the Vietnam vets that had come back, and they were our older brothers or our uncles or our stepfathers in some cases, and we had to go to them to ask them to teach us, because there wasn't anybody around that could. So for me, that's where it came from. But that was a lot of paramilitary stuff, and I found that to some extent limited, because even a guy who spent his whole time Green Beret doing long range recon, there's only so much he knows, because he's expecting resupply. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Like and so the paramilitary stuff, the setting squirrel traps and stuff like that was great, but there was no long-term plan behind it when you're with your skills. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you were eventually expecting evac, and could be a situation where you wouldn't get an evac, and you could be trapped in the woods or even an urban situation, which people say, oh, urban environments and woodland environments are different, but a lot of the same things apply, especially if you're like in a suburban area. So you guys were out here at your facility. What's the facility called here?
This is Camp Bluebird. It was donated to our troop a total of 56 acres of prime woodlands. This used to be an old, I believe, a dairy farm at one time. There's no longer a house here, but you do find some wells and stuff. The previous owner had passed away, and they had donated this land to our troop, care of the Conneaut Church of Christ. So it belongs to our troop forever. And so we're the caretakers of this property. Yeah, 56 acres. There's 4 acres on this side of the road. It's pretty much mowed, open camp area. And then across the road, we have about 52 acres of the woods. We have not yet developed any trails over there yet. We're looking at making, there is a clearing up there. We're going to call that Camp Freedom. That was your idea.
I called it Camp Freedom. There's a good reason for that. Through the ranks of progression of trail life, you progress as woodlands and navigators and adventurers, and at the end of your adventure, you get the badge of freedom, the freedom badge.
Yeah, that's the highest rank in trail life. That would be equal to a Eagle Scout in Scouts.
So we got a nice little camp clearing for like the honorary ceremonies to take place for the, because that's a tremendous honor to get the freedom badge. That's a lot of skills and a lot of practice and a lot of knowledge you obtain through trail life to get that.
Yeah, the property is under the Pennsylvania Clean and Green Act, which means we can't use it for agriculture. We can't build houses or something to that extent, and it's a tax exempt program, and it helps maintain the property in its natural state so that, you know, nature and wildlife can thrive more here better. I've seen a load of deer just mowing here, eagles, turkey, you name it, and that's all going to be wonderful for youth, you know, to witness. Neighbors are real nice. They don't really bother us out here. Like I said, this is just a blessing to the troop because it's just right outside of Conneaut, you know, and it's a nice location where we can just escape to and get out of the norms of the city and the surrounding areas and just come out here, and you don't hear the freeway, you don't hear trains and sirens. You can just pitch your tent, and it's open to the troop year round. They can come out here and camp as a family whenever they want to. They just need to let me know they're going to come out here and camp out. So that's another perk.
So a lot of perks to trail life.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of the perks of it, we are now doing an open house soon, right?
Yeah, it's September 13th and 14th, I believe. Saturday.
Enrolling new kids.
Yeah, we'll have an open house at the Conneaut Church of Christ in Conneaut. And basically what we'll do is we'll set up our camp at the church. The public can come by and see what we're all about, check out what we do. And normally I know already got people already requesting to come in and sign up on that weekend from Erie, Kingsville, all over the place. So we usually pick up a few new members at each open house.
We've had members all the way from Jefferson to Erie, and as long as you can make it, we're glad to have you.
Yep. One of our leaders is from Orwell area, I believe, and he comes up and helps mow the property. Yeah, we all take turns mowing it, keeping it clean. It can be a little difficult. If you let it go too long, it's hard to mow. But we do have a building. It's a safety shelter. It's fairly strong and well maintained. It's use it for a storm shelter, safety building. We'll keep some provisions in there for water, first aid supplies. I could show. I don't think I got the key to get inside of it today, but I could show you the building. And we'll go for a little walk around. I'll show you guys the rifle range. Where we're going to put an archery range. We're going to show you the main camping area. We are going to set up a memorial site for the previous owner, along with a flagpole. And then maybe not this time, but maybe sometime in the fall we can trek up into the upper 52 acres. And
As a trail life group, we already explored a lot of the woods out there. We set up a camp here a couple times, I think.
yeah, that we had our Trail Life nationwide campout weekend where they encourage every troop, no matter where they're at, to camp out that weekend and then take pictures and turn it into the national.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I have cooked some popcorn. Everyone loved my popcorn. Good time.
You like taking that thing with you. You took it on a few campouts.
I love popcorn.
Oh, you
Anybody
got
that knows
a
me.
fire popcorn
Yeah.
maker? Me too. I have one.
I'm a
I have a wood stove, so
okay.
I
I put it right in the campfire and
right on top of the stove.
So our open house will be in September, and then
Connie at
Conant Church of Christ, and then we got to get ready for a huge Trail Life camp out. It's the largest Trail Life camp out. It's in Johnstown, Ohio. I think last year they had 1,975 trailmen there.
yes.
Yeah, you were there.
That was fun.
And I'm very excited because there's going to be a bushcrafter YouTube guy going to be there. Dave Canterbury will be there.
Okay.
And I don't know if you're into bushcraft and wilderness survival and all that stuff. He's big YouTube. I believe he was on one of the Discovery shows too. Yeah. So Dave Canterbury will be at this camp out. And it's probably going to be even larger this year. What do you think about that?
Wow. It was really amazing. And my only gripe is there's so much going on that I didn't get an experience on it. I have to go multiple times to take everything in. There's so many events going on, so many different, categories. Let me explain it. It's more like each day there's like 2 days, and the kids do like different events. There's a BB gun shoots. There's a dart gun, blow darts. There was axe throwing. There was so many different things that the kids go from one section to the next section, to play and experience. And I got called into duties at the BB gun, so I was instructing the kids how to shoot BB guns, and which was really fun. But I think I'm gonna have to go multiple times just to experience more things, just to learn more.
Yeah.
But as an adult, I was still learning things that I didn't know, and we're teaching these kids. I'm like, oh, that's useful information. It's so fun.
Yeah.
So I would recommend going multiple years before it's just great.
That's in October. Between October and January, we just work on more skills, more or less inside the building stuff. We'll go outside to this property a couple of times between now and February. February, we have a winter camp out in Connie. It was actually able to host the Ohio North Region Yukon Adventure. And we had, I think, 75 trailmen from all different troops show up there, and they have dog sleds. They do the different stations and do cooking out on the snow and all that stuff. And that's a real fun time. It's really cold, though.
I've camped out in the winter time a few times. It is a good time.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate your bed when you get home or your shower. I tell you what, I've learned that when I go on a camp out anymore, I need Friday and Monday off from work. That way I have time to recover, thaw out, or when I'm sore from all the walking and stuff that we do. But
I haven't done the Yukon yet, only because I want to be prepared. I want to make sure I have my graded sleeping bag and everything like that. Because last year it came around and I was like, oh, wait, I need to get all this stuff. And I didn't have time, so I passed on it last year. But this year I want to do the Yukon.
yeah, so again, we are going to now Trail Life, Ohio, well, North Central region, which is Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, and I believe Kentucky, are going to go to probably Ohio's going to divide it into 3 parts, to where it's going to be North Ohio, Central Ohio, and Southern Ohio. And I believe, again, this next year, we're going to have it again in Conneaut. So they like it because there was plenty of snow. They don't like to go to a Yukon adventure and there's no snow there. So they got to drag that dog sled through the dirt and mud. So, but there's a lot of winter skills that they teach at this event as well. And I'll tell you what, you know, even as a seasoned adult who's been camping out, you always learn something new, even by watching a youth try to learn it, you know, and you learn from their mistakes as well. So, and then you watch how they succeed, and it gives you that same satisfaction.
So obviously it's a boys club, but is it denominational?
No.
Okay, so anybody, any male can come and join it.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Trail Life does have a program for the girls called Heritage.
Okay.
American Heritage Girls.
I don't know too much about that because I only have boys, so I didn't investigate it.
Gotcha.
My daughter was involved in American Heritage Girls out of a troop in Madison, and we were in a Trail Life troop up there at Madison, Ohio. And it's, to me, having watched her go through American Heritage Girls, it's a more traditional Girl Scouting organization as you would imagine it would have been for your grandmother, okay, as opposed to a more modern era. And watching her go through that, you learn a lot what they do. So it's a very nice organization. They were around a lot longer than Trail Life was. You know, I believe they started 2025, maybe. I'm not too sure when they started, but it's a female version of Trail Life. So.
Nice. Trail Life has been very influential. I learned a lot, and I went to a couple big meetings in Ohio, and there's one saying that kind of stuck to me is like, whatever Ohio does, the rest of Trail Life. I'm not sure if I'm quoting that exactly right, but
whatever happens in Trail Life happens in Ohio first.
That's it.
Because I believe Ohio it just went full blown into Trail Life once it was started. I remember a lot of scouting leaders that I was involved with in the former organization that I was with, that they immediately went to Trail Life. And Trail Life is a nobody gets paid in Trail Life. It's that adverse. The only people who profit is the insurance company or the lawyers, you know, all that stuff. No leader makes a dime. They volunteer from the top down. So our troop in our church, we believe in no boy should pay for their membership or their uniform or their materials or if their parents want to be a leader, their memberships are paid as well.
That's a lot different from other organizations I've been part of.
In our meetings, we try to provide a meal at the end of the meeting. That way, at least they're going home with a full belly, you know. And they might have supper waiting for them at home, so they're going to have to eat twice, I guess. But, yeah, we try to keep every boy fed. We do monitor their advancement pretty good. Yeah, you can't beat that. Now, we focus on male mentorship and traditional masculinity. I'm not saying that we're training male chauvinists or misogynists like that. You know, we're training responsible men for the future.
Well, should we take a look around the place here?
Yeah.
All right.
Up here we have the safety shelter, first aid station. You know, it comes with a couple of cots, hand washing station. It's not powered or have any kind of gas stove or anything in it, but
That wouldn't be camping.
no. But if we're out here as a group and there's a terrible, terrible storm coming in, we'd probably just pull the poles on our tents and then jump in there. That way the tents don't blow away, they just lay flat.
Right. This has a natural spring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah. There is a well up here, but I don't know. I'm not as curious as to see what's underneath that. So down here in the back half of the property, where the property line is, there's a well, the natural spring. It's called Camp Bluebird because the previous owner had an affection for bluebirds. And on our last camp out, I was very fortunate to witness bluebird. That's why there's a lot of bluebird houses down here. Now we do have a hand pump back at the church with the troop equipment, so where we could sit there and draw water from this well, which is filled with spring water. And as you can see over here, it trickles into the tub.
That's a big tub, and the excess water just pours back into the creek. So you can probably like do dishes here if you want.
Yeah, we've done that. We've had boys come down here and get the water from there, and we'll probably strengthen up a little path to going down here to this.
Right.
And up on the hill here and around, this is that weed you were talking about, Nemo.
Touch-me-nots?
This is the jewel weed in a younger state over here. Yeah, it's growing all around here. So there's probably some poison ivy. I'm fortunate not to be allergic to it though. So here's our rifle bench.
That's a good field right here.
Yes, this is going to be main camping area once we get it mowed some more.
You can probably have like a lot of people camping here.
Oh yeah.
I think you mentioned before about the whole trail life group.
We'll have a couple of troops down here, and maybe even have a peak 3, which is for adults to learn camping that don't know camping.
And that's a great thing about trail life is we rely on other troops too. We communicate with them pretty regularly, and maybe even combine if one troop member is wanting to do like an event or something, he reaches out to the other troops like, hey, I'm trying to get this badge and I need other troops to come and help me do this. Mm-hmm. We all come together as like a community of helping each other out.
But yeah, altogether this is 4 acres of the mowed part.
That's on this side of the road.
Yep.
On the other side is all woods.
52 acres. We've done a hike in there. It's pretty big woods. One huge tree out there.
Thank you, man, for having us out here. Appreciate it. And yeah, you're a wealth of knowledge. I can't wait to have you back on the show.
Absolutely.
That was great.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Ashtabula Hobby Talk. We'll get back to the studio here in a second. All right, welcome back, everybody. And that was a great time, and I'm looking forward to getting with him in the fall and really sitting down and seeing what he's got going. Because the bushcraft stuff, I'd like to, we'll get him fire starting and shelter making and water collecting and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a fun guy to sit down and talk with.
Absolutely.
He's got stories.
Absolutely.
If you're interested in the Trail Life program, come to Captain's Comics. We have flyers and more information. Or find them on Facebook at Trail Life Troop 3123, and we sell meat sticks in my comic book store, and all proceeds go to Trail Life. So
they're tasty.
They're very good. We have 6 different flavors to choose from at this point.
So yeah, they're tasty. I like them. Hey, and we're stepping things up here just a little bit. We're not sure how often we're going to use this, but Our line producer Andrew should have come with us. He's been missing out on our away missions. He did come out with the Ashtabula County Fair, but the rest of the away missions, he's missing all the fun.
He's missing some screen time.
And he's missing some screen time. So we'll give him just a little bit right now. Take it away, Andrew. Wave hello.
I hate my day job.
Yeah, well, that's good. We know you do, but we all do.
And that's why we don't give him screen time.
Day job. Anyway, that's great. So we've got a couple of things coming up here. I know Amigos Radio Club Ashtabula, we're going to be out at Pioneer Picnic at the end of this month. And I just was hoping I could talk a little bit about that if nobody minds. We're going to be out there. We're going to have a special event station. I know you're going to be set up.
Yep.
As a comic book vendor booth there.
And so, some of the people that we have on before, they might make another appearance.
Yeah. Yep. Some of them people. And it'll be great to talk to a bunch of people. I know there's going to be a blacksmith out there and a guy who makes arrowheads out of flint map arrowheads. You know what I'm talking about? And tons of other crafter vendors out there that are just make their own handmade stuff. And it's the last weekend of this month, so it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, because it's the holiday weekend. It's going all the way through from the 29th to the 1st, and there's going to be just some great stuff going on. The opening ceremony is going to be at 10 a.m. on Friday, and that's actually being done. There's going to be a flag raising ceremony by the Civil War reenactor guys, and they're going to be doing the flag raising ceremony every morning before the festival starts. There's going to be carnival rides for the kids. Bingo on Friday is going to start at 5 a.m. and go until the band gets on stage. And speaking of the band getting on stage, that's going to be Burnt Valves. They're a great band. I've heard them a couple times. They'll be on stage at 8 o'clock, and they'll be playing for the rest of the night. And as far as the bingo goes, I know there's a lot of people out there that like bingo. And there's going to be bingo every day starting at 10 a.m. going until the band gets on stage.
Not just bingo. There's going to be quarter machines with the bulldozers.
Oh, yeah. And there's carnival rides for the kids. There's going to be a bull ride a guy out there with bulls for you to ride. On Saturday, when we launch on Saturday, there's going to be a tractor pool with lawn tractors and compact tractors, like mini tractors. But it's going to be a real tractor pool. Those guys are coming out. A Miss Pioneer picnic pageant is going to be happening that day too. There's going to be a hot dog eating contest that day. I don't know if I'm going to participate in that, but that our radio club has sponsored that. So thanks to the guys for everybody chipping in. And then at 8 p.m., the Ralph Chamberlain Jr. Band is coming on stage. Excellent band to have out there and listen to. Sunday, they're doing a Power Wheels Demolition Derby. People should come out for that. Little kids on Power Wheels smashing into each other. Cornhole tournament. Last year's cornhole tournament, I think there were 20 teams involved.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And the stagecoach rides are coming back again this year too. And man, just all kinds of stuff. Dee Dee, I can't remember the name. It's Dee Dee Dubois. I can't remember off the top of my head. But she's going on stage at noon on Sunday, and she's going to be playing until about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And then come 8 o'clock, one of my favorite local bands in this area is coming on, Thunder Creek. They've been out there a couple of years in a row, and they sound great. They're right up there. Monday, pie eating contest, bingos at 10 o'clock. And, of course, in the evening, like right around 4 o'clock, the live auction starts, and where they benefit auction stuff for the park there. Helps keep the park going, and man, come out and check out all the upgrades that they've done out there. Quite literally, that park hasn't had a renovation in like 40 years.
I heard you guys raised the roof.
And there's a new roof, there's new everything. It's all coming together, absolutely. So I'm looking for it. I was out there the other day, nailing OSB onto the sides of buildings. So in the rain.
Oh.
All right. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about. That it's 1809 Middle Road in Pierpont. People show up 1809 Middle Road. You can't have more fun on the weekend than you will at Pioneer Picnic. I guarantee. And hey, one more thing I got, and that's our giveaway. Can I talk about that?
Yeah.
All right. So we got this beautiful coffee mug that I'm offering up. Normally people only in amateur radio get a chance to get a coffee mug like this, but I'm offering it up. And also normally you only get a shirt like this if you go into Captain Comics and beg for a shirt just like this one. Oh, let me get it over here for the camera. There we go. Captain's Comics shirt, any size, any color printing, and we're going to give that away to our 100th subscriber, which we're slowly getting close to.
We are. I would like to go a little bit faster.
Well, spread the word, and hopefully people will share this
subscribe.
video. Like, subscribe.
Definitely
share
subscribe.
The video.
Let us know you're out there.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.